Want to do a Florida Skunk Ape painting together? I'll show you how. This is a 14 by 16 canvas board. You're going to need a lot of paintbrushes, all different sizes, a little bit of water in a jar or a cup to rinse your paintbrushes, some acrylic paints, and the flat board. You can use stretched canvas, but for your first time, I would say flat board. You can't go wrong with flat board. You can really press the paintbrush and the pencil or whatever you're using hard on it, and you don't have to worry about it puncturing the canvas when it's stretched canvas. So get all your paints organized, all your supplies, and we're going to start off. It's pretty simple. Basically, what you first have to do is start off with the landscape. You want to section your painting into 3 different sections. This is going to be the sky. This will be the middle. And this will be the swampy marsh area. We're going to do it upright like this instead of landscape, because the main emphasis is the skunk ape. So go down from the top about 6 inches, 6-7 inches, about right to here, and just put a faint line right across. Then go down about another 6 inches and another line. We're going to work on the sky. Don't worry if your line is down too far, because we could always blend it in foliage to cover if we need to bring it up with the sky and that middle section to meet. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to do the top blue. Make sure you have some white. You can never go wrong with a lot of white paint, because you want to lighten up your work if the blue is too dark. Just put a generous amount, dab it right on there. Thick paintbrush, wider. You can utilize the fine tip paintbrush later and just go left and right. This is the easiest part, the sky. Some say the most fun part. There's no right way to draw or paint a sky, because clouds are all different shapes and sizes. Okay, now this is definitely dark blue, but we're going to lighten that. Okay, there's the blue. Okay, after you section your painting in the 3 sections, you just want to do the basic colors of sky and the swamp area. Then we're going to have like a neutral area. That's going to be the land. Don't worry about if your color is too dark, because you could add white paint and tone it down in other neutral shades. And it works out good anyway, because you have to do highlights to make your flora and fauna stand out. So there are no mistakes. You just keep going and you create along the way. You could see how your painting comes out, and you could even change it as you want to make it be as you go along. There's no set thing when you're freestyling a piece. You just go for it. Okay, so now I brought down the highlights from the sky, and this will add a little bit of a sandy texture, because the Florida wetlands areas, they don't really have a lot of dark, muddy areas too much. There are some places that are like that, but you can see more sandy areas near the beach line. Okay, so now we just have our basic colors to start with. While that's drying, start blending. This is the perfect time to blend as it's starting to dry. You get your little grass effect by bringing up the green into the brown. Because there's a lot of marshy, grassy areas in the swamps. See what I'm doing here? Now you have another effect to your painting, another layer. And bring it down. See? This is the effect you're doing. You're showing the grass blades up and underneath the water. Because that's what's in Florida. There's a lot of marshy areas that have long shoots of grass and bamboo trees, all that kind of stuff in those areas. And by not having it all the way down, you see it's like choppy looking. That's because it's partially submerged underneath the water. It gives that effect, like a ripple effect. You could put your creature anywhere around here. You could put him up here. I say him. Could be a she creature. You don't know. Put her, him up there. Down here, have her. The choice is yours. See, now we got a pretty good water effect going on here. I think I'm going to put my creature standing right around here. So where you see this swirled up here, it's like his foot is in the water. And it gives that effect. You don't even have to do that much more around there unless you want to, of course. I'll put him here, and then we'll go from there. And I'll show you how to make him in about a few minutes. Just let this set. I'll be right with the creature. Well, we're waiting for the basic colors to dry, because this is acrylic paint and it dries pretty quickly. You can see how you have the two tones here. You have the white over the blue. Just go back and define the clouds with white along the edges. Just a little bit, like I'm doing. Just a little bit like that. That gives the clouds definition. I'll put some wisps in there, so. So go up and down like that. You could get a more wispy looking cloud, and then you put the little elements of white on the edges to help define it. Just be careful the types of brush strokes you use, so you don't make your clouds look like flowers. Just keep going. Just put a little bit more on the top. And you get that definition that you want. A lot of depth to the sky. Now remember, you could always bring this up and make the sky smaller. But this is a good effect because the Florida Skunk Ape is in the flatlands, the flat plains of the southern part of Florida, and that's what you would see. You would see a more expansive sky. So that's the perfect kind of setting for it. So that's a little bit of a expansive sky. That's the beautiful types of clouds you see in Florida. Those beautiful puffy white clouds. You could do a thicker cloud with a little bit more white to it. Just don't do too many of those. That will take away from the expansiveness and the effect. And now, basically, we're going to let that dry for a little while. Then we're going to do our creature, and then we'll do the effects of the other background around the creature, and everything will blend together. All right, this is dry a little bit more, so now we could do the creature. When you paint the creature, you want to make him the same color as this because he has to blend in. Because remember, he's hidden by the flora and fauna of Florida. Tongue twister there. The flora and fauna. That's why he's elusive. You don't see him that much. People see him like in trees and bushes. He tries to hide. He's hidden unless he's spotted, but most of the time he's trying to stay camouflaged. So it's almost like an octopus, how an octopus adapts to its surroundings and can change its colors. These creatures are known to blend in. And one other point I want to make is, see right here, when you go across, my light keeps going off, don't mind me. The lights. Okay, let's get a light. There we go. Okay. When you go across this way, don't put a white line. Some people are tempted to do that when they paint the sky. That will make it look like the sea. Because you will notice when you look at sea paintings in the distance, they have a white line. That is like the sea edge, so never do that. You can put a hemispheric line like I did across here. Usually if you just paint across, you'll have that anyway, but you could define it more if you want, but just be careful not to fall into that trap of doing the white line. So let's see what we could do now with this creature. See what we can create. Okay, I'm going to start him about here. Now just don't worry, don't get nervous. You just go like that. Make a foot like this, see? And you just go up like that. Then you go over about 2 inches to 3 inches, and you do the same thing. You don't want to make him too big because he has to blend into the painting. He's going to be the main focus, but he's got to not overtake the background. He's the foreground. The background has to have some effect to it. I'm going to start up here with his head. Usually I would bring the painting up, but I want to show you because you want to get the right proper angle for your work, you know, where he should go, so you don't overdo it on your first time and make it too big. Because he's going to look big against the background. Naturally, that's the skyline makes it so it won't overtake the painting. So just start like at the smallest cloud on the bottom. Just go like that. Just like that. Bring it down like that. Like that. Now this painting isn't going to be what you would consider like 100% detailed Smithsonian type of piece. This is going to be like in the museums. This is a kid-friendly type of painting. This is the easy kid-friendly version of this type of a tutorial. Like a kid could do this. Anybody, any age. You know, as time goes on and you improve your skills, you could add to your paintings. That's the beautiful thing. And the beautiful thing about acrylic paint, you could paint over it. After you're done, you could keep going. See what I'm doing, though, to make fur? You want to make some fast fur on your friendly, kid-friendly skunk ape? You just sweep it down like this as you paint. And there's your fur, right there. You just sweep it down like that. You go like that. You go like that. Then you go back to the left over here like that towards the arm. And that also gives the muscle definition of the ape. And it gives him layers. And you just see how the form comes as you go along and you paint in that direction. You can see how it's shaping up down here, and I'm going with the shape. Now see how that's just like that? Almost looks like a bird feather. You want to fix that. You just bring it down. Just like that. Just like that on the other side as well. These are so much fun to paint because you could really make cute paintings. You take kind of intense subjects and you make light of them and make them cute. Like the Florida Skunk Ape. What is that? But, you know, here he is hanging out, minding his own business in the Florida Everglades. And we'll give ours like a smiley face because, you know, kids like that kind of thing too. If kids want to use this tutorial to paint. This is totally age-friendly, any age. Okay. Now you see how we go here? And you add a little more fur down by doing little layers. You take a little bit more paint and you dab more paint like this. And then you just bring the layers down like that. A little bit more paint. It's okay if it's thick because, like I said, it dries fast. It's acrylic. And that gives it definition. This saves you a lot of time, too, because you don't have to keep going over and over again. You basically have your layers down. Okay, see it's shaping up now. Now, you could put more layers here, or you could start defining the hands. See, you could get a little bit of definition to the hands just by cutting through. And then we could put a little color in there so you don't see the green underneath. The skunk ape, this type of ape, other than Sasquatch, has kind of like a winged look to it, as what it's been noted as looking like. I guess the fur is very stringy. It gets its name skunk ape because it's supposed to have a very bad skunk smell. The fur and everything has like a stringy look to it. It's not like the Bigfoot that we know of from the north. So, and it's got different colors to it. Some have been spotted looking like this. Some have been spotted with gray looking stringier fur. You could just take artistic license. You could do whatever color you want, really. Okay, now he's got a little movement to him too. You can see sometimes if you make it the inside of the arm a little in where the other one's moved out, he's like posing almost that way. You don't have to have them the exact same way on either side. That makes them look like a little bit more lifelike. You could just add a little bit more definition to the hair and the layers. And we'll let that dry, and then we'll come back and we'll finish up our skunk ape. And this is my finished skunk ape. I added some teeth, a nose, some more definition to the fur, a sun, some birds, flora and fauna with the flowers and the bushes, a little Florida osprey, some more lily pads. And I added some of the pink sunset skyline in the backdrop. You see a lot of pink in the sky in Florida. So there it is. And you could do whatever you want to your painting. The choice is yours. The journey is in the creativity and the fun is in the art.